One of the things, Dana, that started to hit me is talking to sources, and one, for example, who I quote in the book, I said, you realize how big a deal this is when Caitlin Clark announced that she was going to be turning pro. And this person said, well, this is probably the biggest thing that happened in the WNBA since Maya Moore.
They were saying people are sexist, the media is sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like.
The notion that the WNBA wasn't ready for this, couldn't believe that this could happen, I think it set in motion so many of the issues and the conversations we've had about the jealousy and the concern that we see from some of the players, the cheap shot hits, Kennedy Carter last year and Marina Mabry this year, Dana. It just was the sense that this incredible thing is happening to the WNBA and the league seems completely, utterly unprepared for it.
Thank you!
The WNBA, better known here on this channel as the Woke National Basketball Association. Once again, the WNBA is getting ripped by the media for failing to understand the importance of promoting Caitlin Clark. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about how the WNBA is getting roasted for failing to promote the greatness of Caitlin Clark. Christine Brennan and Colin Cowherd put WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert on blast for failing to understand what the audience wants. Obviously, the WNBA has failed to embrace Caitlin Clark as the face of their sports league. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So, here it is. Why has the WNBA failed to promote the greatness of Caitlin Clark? Really, it comes down to three major reasons. The first reason is because of stupidity. The second reason is because of racism. And the third reason is because of identity politics. That's right, those three major reasons are why Caitlin Clark is not getting promoted nearly enough. I know the WNBA is going to tell everyone that, yeah, we have been promoting Caitlin Clark, but they're not painting Caitlin Clark in a positive light. If I'm the WNBA commissioner, I'm making sure Caitlin Clark gets all the airtime she needs because that is the one player that can possibly make the WNBA watchable. The WNBA is a third world dump, and obviously the quality of play in basketball is extremely low. I've seen dudes at the YMCA play better basketball than what is being shown in the Woke National Basketball Association. When you were talking about face of a sports league, you want your face to be extremely relatable. That is one thing the WNBA has failed to understand, which is why I call them stupid. It's really stupidity that they are phasing out Caitlin Clark when they should be doing everything they can to promote Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is a relatable girl. She's a girl from middle America. She's a straight white woman. Caitlin Clark comes from a humble background and she played a lot of basketball as a kid and she worked hard to get to the top of the mountain. If you're a casual fan, you've got to respect what Caitlin Clark did to build her brand in the first place. The WNBA should be building that brand in order to promote the greatness of Caitlin Clark. The fact that they are using this time to tear down Caitlin Clark is absolutely crazy in my mind. It's absolute stupidity. Why are they trying to act like it's the other players that is making their sports league great? The other players in the WNBA suck. I could beat those people one-on-one. I could beat Brittany Griner one-on-one. I could beat Angel Reese one-on-one. I could beat all these other players one-on-one. We all know that the WNBA is not high-quality basketball. You can go to a local gym and see better basketball being played than what the WNBA has been showing on a consistent basis. Why would a lot of people spend their time watching the WNBA just to watch 95% of players in the WNBA miss wide open layups? It's like watching a toddler play basketball. Quite frankly, the quality of play is not good whatsoever. I also want to show you guys this clip of some doofus named Carolyn Peck talking about how the Indiana Fever are better off without Caitlin Clark. It was an absolutely stupid take at the time. Anybody that has been following the WNBA for a bit would understand the WNBA is not better off without Caitlin Clark, and the Indiana Fever damn sure aren't better off without Caitlin Clark. Roll the film.
Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard. The ball's in her hands a lot, so you know what you need to try to take away. But when you look at Indiana now, they've got so many weapons. And Kelsey Mitchell is playing out of her mind. Aliyah Boston I talked to Stephanie White before the game. She said in year one, Aliyah Boston was back to the basket. Year two, two-man game. Year three, they're using her as a decision maker. And so when you have a point guard like Kelsey Mitchell and Aari McDonald making plays on the perimeter and a post like Aliyah Boston, I'm going to tell you, at Indiana, they are a threat, and specifically on the defensive end.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
And that's why you're a no-namer. That's why I never even heard of you before I saw your name on Twitter trending, because of your stupidity surrounding what you had to say about Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. I'm sure that even Caitlin Clark's biggest rivals would legitimately say, hey, Caitlin Clark makes the Indiana Fever a better basketball team. When you have quote-unquote experts talking like that about your sports league, no wonder why people aren't following the WNBA. These WNBA players cry all the time that nobody is watching their sports league, but when they have somebody that can finally move the needle in terms of ratings, they go out there and complain. Beggars don't get to be choosers, but the WNBA players are choosing to be beggars. That's my problem with them. Christine Brennan is absolutely right on that front. To leave Caitlin Clark off that Olympic team last year, that was absolutely insane. It was a stupid decision from the perspective of business. The second reason why the WNBA has failed to promote the greatness of Caitlin Clark is because of racism. They want their face of the league to be a black woman, and Caitlin Clark is not exactly that. Caitlin Clark has failed to promote what the WNBA stands for, which is for the woke National Basketball Association. Now, for us normal folks, we like what Caitlin Clark stands for, but for the people in the WNBA, they don't like what Caitlin Clark stands for whatsoever. I say race plays a role in this because they want to simp towards the black women that are playing in the WNBA. The third reason why the WNBA has failed to promote the greatness of Caitlin Clark is because of identity politics. We all know that people in the WNBA love being lesbian. They love being bisexual, and they love their letters. They love the LGBTQIA++, whatever the letters are in their groups. They love people that play identity politics games, and Caitlin Clark is not that. Caitlin Clark is a heterosexual white woman. That's why I say Caitlin Clark is the modern day version of Jackie Robinson in a white woman form. What the WNBA reminds me of business wise is they are basically a business being operated in a third world country where they get bad reviews all the time, but they have one side dish that's really good and the rest of the restaurant is filled with trash. The menu is filled with trash, and there are flies and bugs flying all over the place in the restaurant while the building looks like it's in the middle of collapsing. That's what the WNBA business model looks like to me. Cathy Engelbert is clearly incompetent at her job, so really it comes down to stupidity, racism, and identity politics for why Caitlin Clark has not been getting promoted more by the WNBA. You take Caitlin Clark off the Indiana Fever or just the WNBA in general, they will lose over 50% of their audience. It's going to continue being a bad business, and when you make stupid comments about Caitlin Clark and make stupid decisions about Caitlin Clark, that's the result you're going to get. The customer is always right, and the WNBA failed to understand that when you go woke, you go broke. It's that simple. So that is how stupidity, racism, and identity politics are the three biggest reasons for why the WNBA has failed to promote the greatness of Caitlin Clark. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @DustinNashTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinNashTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinNashTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.